What's up, it's a Spherical, and welcome back to Northanger Abbey the game. I do have a part 1 of this, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead and go check that out, because I'll be picking up right where I left off. Let's get into it. This one. Miss Thorpe, may I have the honor of a dance? Oh, I would so love to dance, but nothing shall induce me to join the set before Spira can join it too. Okay, no, please, Isabella, don't wait on me, just go. Thank you, Isabella. You're the dearest friend I could hope for. How thoughtful you are, Miss Thorpe. I like the idea of my bro and Isabella getting together, like, yeah, go do that. No sacrifice is too great for a true friend. Okay, you continue as you are for a full 3 minutes. My dear creature, I'm afraid I must leave you. Your brother is so amazingly impatient to begin, and I know you will not mind my going away. He doesn't look really impatient. I think you're impatient. I think you're just like, oh, well, you're less popular than I thought, so... Go leave. Please. Of course, there is no reason we must all wait to dance. I know you would understand. Goodbye, my dear. And now you share the discredit of wanting a partner with the scores of young ladies sitting alone at the edges of the room. Fuck. But fortitude in the face of injustice is what dignifies the character of a true heroic figure. Oh yes, such great injustice. You suffer, but no murmur passes your lips. Hey! Hey! Yet wait, who is that entering the room looking as handsome as ever? Could it be Mr. Tilney? And who is that beautiful woman on his arm? I don't think, because he's only been away for like a couple weeks, right? I don't think he got married in that span of time. Look at them. I bet that's his sister. You throw away a fair opportunity of imagining hidden drama by choosing the most probable option. Look at her, though. She's cute. I like her dress. But they're walking the other way. You want to know. Wait, it is Mrs. Thorpe's friend, Mrs. Hughes. How does she know the Tilneys? Oh, and Mr. Tilney has caught your eye. Good evening, M. Morland. I'm very happy to see you again, sir. I was afraid you had left Bath. I had, for a week, and then returned with my sister, Eleanor. It was only a week. Eleanor, this is M. Spira Morland. M. Morland, this is my sister, Miss Eleanor Tilney. His sister, of course. It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Tilney. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, M. Morland. My brother has told me much of you. He has? I know that after such a long absence, you may have forgotten me entirely. But if it's not too forward from a stranger, may I request that you rescue my sister from peril? Peril? Indeed, for tragically she knows no one she can dance with, which is a deadly fate indeed for a sensitive young person, as you know. Okay. I think I might survive it. You need not trouble yourself, M. Morland, and I apologize for my brother's misguided chivalry. It's not for you to tell others to dance with me, Henry. It's not for others to tell people to dance with you, but I kind of want to dance with you. I like your dress, and you have pretty hair, and look at that, like, you've got, like, the smirk thing with less of the... I'm not gonna lie, he's snarky, and I like him, but he's got a little bit of an assholishness to him. I would be glad to dance with you. That is very kind of you, M. Morland, but you need not let my brother bully you into dancing with me. I'm not as fragile as he seems to think. But I really do wish to dance with you, Miss Tilney. I'm sure I would enjoy it greatly, of course, if you do not wish to dance. Thank you, M. Morland, you are very kind, and I would be very glad to dance with you. Yay! Look at us! We do the cute red and blue thing. That's adorable. Heyday, M. Morland, what is the meaning of this? I thought you and I were to spend the evening together. Oh, please, God, no. Morland's off with my sister, you're with this woman. What am I to do? Die alone. But I said I do not wish to. As you were too unwell to go out. Since you are out at present, you are demonstrably not unwell. Yes, you are the worst kind of person. I never said... Never mind that, Moreland. Who is this enchanting creature? No, she's a ghost. She doesn't exist. She's not real. Mr. Thorpe, this is Miss Eleanor Tilney. Miss Tilney, this is Mr. John Thorpe. He is a friend of my brother's. Charmed. So, Miss Tilney, shall I have the next dance? No. Fuck you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Thorpe, but I do not plan to dance again this evening. Perhaps another time. Humph! Well, I suppose I have no say in it. We men are at the whims of you ladies after all. God. Oh my god. Oh, I bet you would go home and post on forums about how you've just been friend-zoned. Indeed. Moreland, do you want a horse? Here's a friend of mine, Sam Fletcher, has got one to sell that would suit anybody. Look at how sad we are. We're just so fucking upset that he keeps talking. A famous clever animal for the road, only 40 guineas. 50 mines to buy it myself, for it is one of my maxims always to buy a good horse when I meet with one. But it would not answer my purpose, it would not do for the field. Okay. You do not wish to buy a horse. This does not deter him. You begin to worry that Mr. Thorpe will never leave. Fuck. But then he is borne off by the resistless pressure of a long string of passing ladies. God! Yay! The evil has been defeated. Are you enjoying your time in Bath, Miss Tilney? And so you ask how well she likes Bath, how much she admires its buildings and surrounding country, whether she draws or plays or sings, and whether she is fond of riding on horseback. In all probability, not an observation is made by either of you which has not been made some thousands of times before under this roof in every Bath season, but nevertheless you enjoy Miss Tilney's company. I like her. The conversation reaches a natural lull and it turns to you to find a new topic to discuss. I don't want to dote on Henry. Let's flatter her. Ah, she's blushing. Why, thank you, Emma Moreland. And then the dance is over and Miss Tilney returns to her family. My dearest creature, I've been looking for you this hour. What could induce you to come into this set when you knew I was in the other? I've been quite wretched without you. What, is my brother like chopped meat? What? My dear Isabella, how is it possible for me to get at you? I could not even see where you were. But look at that young lady with the white beads round her head. It is Mr. Tilney's sister. Oh, heavens, you don't say so! What a delightful girl! I never saw anything half so beautiful. But where is her all-conquering brother? Point him out to me this instant. Mr. Moreland, you are not to listen. We are not talking about you. Shit, fuck. But what is all this whispering about? What is going on? There now, I knew how it would be. You men have such restless curiosity. But be satisfied, for you are not to know anything at all of the matter. Being sassy is one thing, she is just straight up shutting him down. And indeed, she does not bring up the subject again. Okay. With James and Isabella at your side, you're no longer alone. But you begin to doubt the happiness of a situation which, confining you entirely to your friend and brother, gives you very little share in the notice of either. They are always engaged in some sentimental discussion or lively dispute, and always in such whispering voices that, though your opinion is frequently called for, you are never able to make out the subject well enough to give any. So, we're feeling third wheel syndrome. Yep, there they go. At last, after much protest, Isabella manages to persuade herself to dance again with James, and you are once again alone. Hey, Eleanor! How you doing? I beg your pardon, M. Moreland, but I cannot get to Miss Thorpe, and Mrs. Thorpe said she was sure you would not have the least objection in letting this young lady by you. Nothing could make me happier. Good evening again, Miss Tilney. Ah, I see you need no introduction. Good evening. Good evening again, M. Moreland. I see you are rescuing my sister once more from desolation. Henry, your sister's cute. Look, you were very nice and snarky and fun, but your sister is really cute. You have been speaking, no doubt, of the distressing lack of lace this season. We were not. No? But what else would two young people be discussing so earnestly? Hats? Your love of country walks? I do love country walks. I mean, hiking is fun. Although it occurs to me that I have not taken one in Bath. Are there many pretty parks? Indeed, the view from beach and cliff is especially charming. Oh, I should love to see it. If only I had a walking partner. There are two before you. Should you enjoy a walk with my brother and I, M. Morland? Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. Let's go. Do not let us put it off. Let us go tomorrow. That is a fine idea, although I do worry that it might rain. If so, I would prefer to delay until the weather is fine. Yeah, I mean, we can't walk in the rain. But I'm sure it'll be fine. It is settled then. We shall see you at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Walking without siblings. The morning is somber looking, the sun making only a few efforts to appear. It is cloudy now, but I'm sure it'll be fine later. That is the usual way of things at this time of year. It's gonna rain. At 11 o'clock, a few specks of small rain fall upon the windows. Aw, we're so sad. It was such a nice-looking morning. I felt so convinced it would be dry. By 12, the rain is falling fast. I do not quite despair yet. I shall not give it up until a quarter after 12. This is just the time of day for it to clear up, and I do think it looks a little lighter. By 12:30, you've given up hope. And so, of course, that is the moment the sun chooses to come out. Wait! A knock at the door. Could it be the Tilneys after all? Fuck. Make haste, put on your hat this moment. There is no time to be lost. We are going to Bristol. No, we're fucking not. It seems likely that the Tilneys will not come, but it would still be very rude not to wait. Should you leave anyway? No! Fuck you. No, leave, go to Bristol, have fun. I would rather sit in the house by myself. Honestly. Engaged? Well, that is no reason. Yeah, it is. My dear Spira, is this not delightful? We should have a most heavenly drive. You are to thank your brother and me for the scheme. It darted into our heads at breakfast time, I verily believe at the same instant. We shall drive directly to Clifton and dine there, and as soon as dinner is over, if there is time for it, go on to King's Weston. I doubt our being able to do so much. You croaking fellow, we shall be able to do 10 times more. King's Weston, aye, and Blaze Castle too, and anything else we can hear of. God, I fucking hate him. Blaze Castle, what is that? The finest place in England, worth going 50 miles at any time to see. Wait, is it really a castle? An old castle? The oldest in the kingdom. But is it like what one reads of, with towers and long galleries? By dozens. Then I should like to see it, but I cannot go. I expect Miss Tilney and her brother to call on me to take a country walk. They promised to come at 12, only it rained. But now, as it is so fine, I dare say they shall be here soon. Tilney, you say? Why, I saw them as they turned into Broad Street. Does he not drive a phaeton with bright chestnuts? I don't know. Yes, I know he does. I saw him. We were introduced last night. Nearly sold him a horse. That was his sister. I saw him turn up the Lansdowne Road driving a smart-looking girl, and I heard Tilney hallooing to a man who was just passing by on horseback that they were going as far as Wick Rocks. That's very odd, but I suppose they thought it would be too dirty for a walk. And well they might, for I never saw so much dirt in my life. You could no more walk than you could fly. It's ankle-deep everywhere. See, I'm inclined not to believe you, because you are just the sort of person to fucking lie. I mean, it probably is muddy, but there's, I don't know, cobblestones? Is every road dirt? I mean, if it's really that muddy, you wouldn't be able to walk either, or drive, because, the wheels would stick. Anyway. My dearest Spear, you cannot form an idea of the dirt. Come, you must go. You cannot refuse going now. No. Fuck you. Everybody gets so mad. Peer pressure. Yeah, fuck you. Well then. They harangue you for another 10 minutes, but eventually you are left in peace. Even my brother. That's fucked up. And then, just as you had started to wonder if they would ever come, yes! I knew my faith wasn't misplaced. My apologies for our lateness, M. Moreland. We were delayed by the rain. You could not help the weather. I am only glad that you are able to be here. Yay! The three of you begin your walk and determine on walking round beach and cliff. I never look at this hill without thinking of the south of France. You've been abroad, then? Oh, no, I only mean what I've read about. It always puts me in mind of the country that Emily and her father traveled through in The Mysteries of Udolpho. But you never read novels, I dare say? Why not? Because they're not clever enough for you. Educated gentlemen read better books. The person, be it gentleman or lady, who has not pleasure in a good novel must be intolerably stupid. So, y'all are nerds. I like it. I've read all Mrs. Radcliffe's works, and most of them with great pleasure. The Mysteries of Udolpho, when I had once begun it, I could not lay down again. I remember finishing it in 2 days, my hair standing on end the whole time. Yes, and I remember that you undertook to read it aloud to me, and that when I was called away for only 5 minutes to answer a note, instead of waiting for it, you took it. Thank you, Eleanor, a most honorable testimony. You see, M. Moreland, the injustice of your suspicions. Here was I, in my eagerness to get on, refusing to wait only 5 minutes for my sister, breaking the promise I had made of reading it aloud and keeping her in suspense at a most interesting part by running away with the volume. I am proud when I reflect on it, and I think it must establish me in your good opinion. I'm very glad to hear it indeed, and now I shall never be ashamed of liking Udolpho myself. But I really thought before young men despised novels amazingly. It may well suggest amazement, for they need... Whenever I go into this, I always forget that it's fucking Jane Austen. It's hard as shit to read. It may well suggest amazement, for they read nearly as many as women. I myself have read hundreds and hundreds. Do not imagine that you can cope with me in a knowledge of Julias and Luisas. If we engage in the never-ceasing inquiry of, have you read this? And have you read that? I shall soon leave you as far behind me as far as your friend Emily left herself, poor Valancourt, when she went with her aunt to Italy. Oof. Consider how many years I've had the start of you. I had entered on my studies at Oxford when you were a good little child learning to multiply and divide. How old are you? How old is Henry? Oops. Not very good, I'm afraid, but now really, do you not think Udolpho the nicest book in the world? The nicest, by which I suppose you mean the neatest. That must depend on the binding. Henry, you are very impertinent. M. Moreland, he is treating you exactly as he does his sister. He is forever finding fault with me for some incorrectness of language, and now he is taking the same liberty with you. Oh, you're a dick about grammar. The word nicest, as you used it, did not suit him. You had better change it as soon as you can, or we shall be overpowered with Johnson and Blair all the rest of the way. I'm sure I did not mean to say anything wrong, but it is a nice book. Why should I not call it so? Very true, and this is a very nice day, and we are taking a very nice walk, and you are two very nice young people. Oh, it is a very nice word indeed. It does for everything. Oh, you're like those people who get mad about people using like as a filler word? Ugh. Originally, perhaps, it was applied only to express neatness, propriety, delicacy, or refinement. People were nice in their dress, in their sentiments, or their choice. But now every commendation on every subject is comprised in that one word. Oh, okay. You're getting kind of annoying, Henry. While in fact it ought only to be applied to you without any commendation at all. You are more nice than wise. Come, M. Moreland, leave him to meditate over our faults in the utmost propriety of diction, while we praise Udolpho in whatever terms we like best. It is a most interesting work. You are fond of that kind of reading? To say the truth, I do not much like any other. Indeed. That is, I can read poetry and plays and things of that sort, and do not dislike travels, but history, real solemn history, I cannot be interested in. Can you? Yes, I am fond of history. I wish I were too. I read it a little as a duty, but it tells me nothing that does not either vex or weary me. I can understand that. The quarrels of popes and kings with wars or pestilences in every page. The men all so good for nothing, and no mention of women or anyone else. It's very tiresome. And yet, I often think it odd that it should be so dull, for a great deal of it must be invention. And invention is what delights me in other books. We're just dropping some mad truths about historical revisionism. I am fond of history, and am very well contented to take the false with the true. If a speech be well drawn up, I read it with pleasure by whomsoever it may be made, and probably with much greater if the production of Mr. Hume or Mr. Robertson than of the genuine words of Caractacus or Alfred the Great. Caractacus? That sounds like a Pokemon. You are fond of history, and so are Mr. Allen and my father, and I have 2 brothers who do not dislike it. At this rate I shall not pity the writers of history any longer, if people like to read their books. Oh, Henry, look at that withered oak. Would it not make the most perfect subject for a drawing? Yes, and if you placed it on the summit of that rocky fragment at dusk, so the shadows were long and ominous. What do you think, M. Morland? I am so sorry. I would give anything in the world to be able to draw, but I know almost nothing of art. Can you explain why that tree would make a good subject? It seems dead. Oh man, I love taking pictures of dead trees. I mentioned hiking earlier. I like going up, because I live in North Carolina, and there are mountains everywhere. And I like going up the mountains and taking pictures of everything. It's great. But that is the very crux of its appeal. I will agree thoughtfully. So it is appealing because it is dead. Exactly. A lecture on the picturesque immediately follows. Mr. Tilney talks of foregrounds, distances and second distances, side screens and perspectives, lights and shades. I just like shit because it looks nice. I see. Now that I look at it, the whole city of Bath is unworthy to make part of a landscape. Would you agree? Delighted with your progress and fearful of wearying you with too much wisdom at once, Henry lets the subject decline. Fuck. I really hope that he's sarcastic about that shit, because otherwise it would be insufferable. From the withered oak to oaks in general, to forests, the enclosure of them, wastelands, crown lands, and government, he shortly finds himself arrived at politics. And from politics, it's an easy step to silence. Yay! Oh, fuck, okay. Mrs. Allen? Oh, it's a flashback. I was like, what? Okay, we're in the back in the ballroom. Mrs. Allen, do you know who that gentleman is standing with Mr. Tilney? Oh, that is his father, General Tilney. Oh, okay. His father? Is everyone in this family handsome? Right? The other night Mrs. Hughes talked to me a great deal about the family. And what did she tell you of them? Oh, a vast deal indeed. She hardly talked of anything else. Did she tell you what part of Gloucestershire they come from? Yes, she did, but I cannot recollect now. But they are a very good kind of people, and very rich. Mrs. Tilney had £500 to buy wedding clothes. Shit, they're loaded! Is Mrs. Tilney in Bath? Yes, I fancy she is, but I'm not quite certain. Upon recollection, I have a notion that she is dead. Yes, I'm sure, because Mrs. Hughes told me there was a very beautiful set of pearls that she wore on her wedding day, and that Miss Tilney has got now. You realize that you will get nothing more useful from Mrs. Allen. As you are looking at the Tilneys, Mr. Tilney happens to look in your direction. He bows with a smile, you bow in response. Can I just date both of them? Oh, and now he's coming over to speak with you. Good evening, M. Morland. Good evening, Mr. Tilney. Good evening, M. Morland. I was passing by on my way to taste the waters, and thought I would ask if you are still enjoying Bath. Very much so. I see. Well then, would you perhaps enjoy another educational exploration with my sister and I? Fuck yeah, I would. It's... I mean, you're a little bit insufferable when you get preachy, but, like, listen, you're sarcastic, and I appreciate that. Excellent. Tomorrow at the same time? Yes, that would be convenient. Better and better. Well, I must take my leave, M. Morland, but I shall see you tomorrow. Oh god. Don't talk to that piece of shit. Wait, is that Mr. Thorpe talking to General Tilney? How do they know each other? General Tilney's angry face is really funny. You wonder what they're talking about. It seems not to make them happy, whatever it is. Get away from me. My sweetest Spira, how have you been this long age? But I need not ask you, for you look delightful. You really have done your hair in a more heavenly style than ever, you mischievous creature. Do you want to attract everybody? I mean, I haven't changed my hair at all? What are you talking about? Did you see me talking with General Tilney, M. Morland? He is a fine old fellow, upon my soul. How came you to know him? There are a few people much about town that I do not know. A very fine fellow, as rich as Croesus? I should like to dine with him. I dare say he gives famous dinners. As to what you were talking of, well, you might like to know. You might like to know indeed. Shit, okay. Oh, and Spira, you must wake up early tomorrow, for we are to travel again to Clifton. You guys are, but I have an engagement. An engagement? Then you must cancel it. Nope. Indeed, for it must be tomorrow, and oh, my dearest Spira, we could never go without you. I bet you could. Do not urge me, Isabella. I am engaged to Miss Tilney. I am engaged to Miss Tilney. I wish I was. But of course you can. It would be so easy to tell Miss Tilney that you had just been reminded of a prior engagement, and must only beg to put off the walk till Tuesday. That's fucked up. You already made plans, and to tell them that you... That's fucked up, Isabella. No, it would not be easy. I could not do it. There has been no prior engagement. Why don't you fucking fuckers put off the ride until Tuesday? If you can't go without me, then fucking reschedule. I cannot help being jealous, Spira, when I see myself slighted for strangers. I barely know you. When once my affections are placed, it is not in the power of anything to change them, but I believe my feelings are stronger than anybody's. I am sure they are too strong for my own peace. Are you trying to tell me that you love me, Isabella? What's the deal? To see myself supplanted in your friendship by strangers cuts me to the quick. These Tilneys seem to swallow up everything else. I'm pretty sure I met Henry before I met you. Yeah, no, I met Henry before I met you. Shut the fuck up. Nay, Spira, I think you cannot stand out any longer now. The sacrifice is not much, and to oblige such a friend, I shall think you quite unkind if you still... What the fuck? Why are you turning on me? I just don't want to drive to fucking Gloucestershire with you, or some shit. I'm sorry. Could we not delay until fucking Tuesday? No, I do not know that I might not go into town on Tuesday. I have a fair mind to. Very well, then there is an end of the party. If Spira does not go, I will not. Spira, you must go. But why cannot Mr. Thorpe drive one of his other sisters? I dare say either of them would like to go. Thank ye, but I did not come to Bath to drive my sisters about. You seem to be willing to drive everybody else about, bro. And look like a fool. Well, you do that on your own. No, if you do not go, damn me if I do. I only go for the sake of drive. What? Why? All of you were so mad about nothing. And now you have driven away poor Draught. Fucking good riddance. I do not think you had been so obstinate. Spira, you were not used to be so hard to persuade. You were once the kindest, best-tempered of my siblings. I'm being kind and good-tempered by not letting you guys fucking tell me to break my plans with somebody else. You guys, I hope I'm not less so now, but indeed I cannot go. If I am wrong, I am doing what I believe to be right. I suspect there is no great struggle. Isabella, how can you... Are you serious? Oh my god! Well, I have settled the matter, and now you may all go tomorrow with a safe conscience. I have been to Miss Tilney and made your excuse. Fuck you! Oh my god! No! I have, upon my soul, told her you had sent me to say that, having just recollected a prior engagement of going to Clifton with us tomorrow. You could not have the pleasure of walking with her till Tuesday. You are the worst kind of person. She said, very well, Tuesday was just as convenient to her, so there is an end to all of our difficulties. A pretty good thought of mine, hey? Why are you guys okay with this? You don't, this is, I'm a hostage. I'm being held hostage. A most heavenly thought indeed. This will not do. I cannot submit to this. I must run after Miss Tilney directly and set her right. But everything is settled. Miss Tilney herself said Tuesday would suit her That's not the fucking point, bro. That's not the point. Okay? The point is that fucking Pillsbury over here went over to beautiful Eleanor and told her that I was being a flake when I wasn't. And they have already left. I saw them go out the door as we were coming this way. I don't fucking care. Mr. Thorpe had no business to invent any such message. It does not signify talking. If I could not be persuaded into doing what I thought wrong, I never will be tricked into it. Mr. Thorpe told the truth in one respect. The Tilneys have indeed left the ball. You quicken your pace as you walk towards their lodgings, and almost run the remaining ground as you crest the hill. Your heart will not rest till you have seen Miss Tilney. Yay! Okay, good. I have come in a great hurry. It was all a mistake. I never promised to go. I told them from the first I could not go. I ran away in great hurry to explain it. I do not care what you thought of me. Then you are not busy tomorrow? I did wonder at Mr. Thorpe's message. And you've run all this way just to tell us. And Morland, this is our father, General Tilney. It's a pleasure to meet you, General Tilney. The General nods gruffly. Come, we must return home. It is time for supper. Father, might we not speak a little longer with M. Morland? Another time, M. Morland. Yay! Fuck you guys! Like, that's shitty. That is a shitty thing to do. I have no idea how much longer is in this game. I'm gonna go ahead and save it here. And, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. There might be 3 parts of this. This is a really big demo. Like I said in the previous thing, they put a lot of work into this. They put a lot of love. I imagine the canon route was probably going with them to Clifton or whatever. And that might be why they, like, put so much, like, why they were such dicks about it. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here. I will leave the link to this demo in the description again, as well as all the contact info for the dev. And thank you guys so much for watching and for checking me out. And I will see you guys later. Have a great weekend.